Hello and welcome to this second tutorial of the Onera M6 Win. So if you follow the previous tutorial, you should have something like this. So one advice is just feel free to do different operations. So I use, when I was explaining this order of operation, maybe for you will be more comfortable to doing something in a different order. So remember, there is no right or wrong when generating your geometry. But there are a few wise choices. So feel free just to play around to get used to with all the options that we have available. So in this tutorial, we're going to focus in here the tip of the wing. Okay, so we generated this one using the revolve features. I'm going to show you how to use the lost features to generate a better tip, because this one here you see that doesn't follow the tangents here of the leading edge. So I would like to have something that follow that tangents. So we're going to work on that one, how to use the loft tool. So let's go to this document, and to generate the tip, let's erase these features. We don't need it. So we should have something like this: the wing and the revolve. And basically, let's say that I can hide this plane as well. And what I'm going to do is just hide the wing, and we have this, okay, the revolve here. So what I would like to do is create a plane in this face, project this curve and this curve in the respective planes, and then split those lines, and then create a cross section of this part, and the one that I will use to loft from that cross section to these points, following these guidelines here. Okay, so the first thing is, let me create a plane in this face. So you click here, and I will choose 0 offset, so I'm perfectly in that face. And now I can say, okay, let me sketch here. I want to project. Okay, this is a really powerful tool. So let me set it there. Okay, so you have this sketch, and now I will do some modifications. Okay, so I have this spline, and what I'm going to do here is create a line connecting, okay, from here, from the front part here, and then I will close it here. So you see those symbols there are telling me that the line is perfectly horizontal, and that dotted orange line there means that also I wake up this point, so I'm perfectly aligned with this point. So I am horizontal and on that point. Okay, so the other step will be here. Let me set that here, and I will give a dimension here. So I will say 120, which will be about 25% of the core in this section. And then I will create this line, so that it's vertical. Okay, and now I need to split this spline where using this line. And see that now you have everything separated in different curve. And let me force this. Okay, and now also I add this horizontal constraint there. So see that we have our support geometry there. Okay, and now what I will do is create a second plane here, offset 0, and I will proceed in the same way. So I will sketch this plane, I will do some projections of this one, but also want to project this and this. Okay, so I will hide that, and now what I can do is connect. Okay, let me see normal here. Connect this one to this one horizontal, and you see the constraints. Okay, And now we need to split this one as well as the previous one. So select here, select, split. So you see that now we have all our support geometries. Okay. So as you see now, what we need to do is create a cross section here that I will love to this point, I will follow this path there. So to create a new plane, I will create a plane passing through 3 points. Select the 3 points, this. There you have your plane, okay. This is one you can modify a little bit. And now we'll just sketch in this plane. So what I will do is project whatever I have in the other sketches. So this line and this lines. Okay, and now I can do something like this. I will create a spline. Okay, and probably let me erase that one. Okay, and to control the spline, you have those handles there. So I will use a shape like this, okay? So I have my cross section, I have my guidelines, and at this point I can go loft what I want to loft, this to this point, and I want you to follow this line, and also want you to follow this line here. And see this is how we generate our tip there. Okay, so if you are happy with that, just press OK. And then you can proceed in the same way with the real part. Okay, so it automatically hides the previous sketches, but let me wake up everything again. And then again, so select this guidelines here, and I want new part, okay, new solid. So if you want to add it to the previous one, you can go here, but let's keep a new one. So this is what we have, okay? So if we compare with the previous one, I have to say, I think we should have something that is very similar, where you see that we have different cross section in the new one. Okay, yes, I have a larger cross section with my spline, but if I check here, pretty much I have the same problem. I'm not following the tangency with the wind. So let's modify that, okay, to get this a different line here. So that should be, let's see which sketch. So remember, I don't need to erase anything here because everything will be updated automatically if I modify. Okay, so I think yes, is this sketch plane. So a few things that we have this here, and I would like to create a spline connecting this with this one. Okay. And here, as in the previous case, just we can play around. For instance, I want to make this line here, I want to convert it into a construction line, okay? I don't need that one. Let me see the previous geometry. So look at that, I want to orient that handle in such a way that I have something that is following that tangency of that line. So if you want to add constraints, what you can do is you have this one, tangency, you select this one, I want this one to be tangent to this one, and see automatically add that tangency. And then here you have the second handle, and pretty much you can proceed in the same way, okay? And you have something like that. And if you want to make it tangent as well, you can do, I want this to be tangent to this one, and it will add that tangency there. So see that now we have something that it will follow that line there. And here in the back section, the rear section, everything is okay. We don't need to modify anything. Okay, we have this. And now let's update our geometries. Okay, so I have a few errors. Okay, so let me choose the profiles. One, my guidelines. I want this. I want this guideline there. Okay. I want a new power. Let me hide the wind. And see now that, okay, so what we have, original one is this one that is not following the tangency, and now this one following the tangency, so we have something that is smooth. Okay. But now look at that, what we have here is that as we have only two profile sections, onshape, what it's doing is interpolating how that shape will evolve now in the instant here. So somehow if I want to add more control here, what I can do, let me raise the rear part, I don't need it for the moment. So see that this one is very rounded here, okay? Instead, look at this one here that is losing control. So at the beginning, it's following this curvature, but then doesn't follow that shape. So what I can do here is to add another cross section to have more control. Okay, so let's erase again that one, and let's add another shape here, somewhere here, to have more control of what we're doing. Okay, so what I'm going to do, again, remember, is you need to control your support geometry reference plane. So click here, there, and let me create a plane. And let's say that probably I want to have that plane like probably 90 millimeters. Okay, so in that section here, I will create a new profile section to have more control. You can put as many as you want, but as you see, if you put 100, it's a lot of work. You need to create all those shapes. So I think 2 sections will give me enough control here. So click there, start to sketch there, and then, as is previous case, just do some projections. Project this, this, and this there. Okay. So remember what something very important is that this profile needs to be attached to these guidelines if you want to follow those guidelines. Okay. In this case, you see that they are not attached. Okay, we need to modify a little bit. So you see that this one, it is reference to the other geometry. So I need to erase all these constraints. Okay. So you see that the geometry is becoming blue, meaning that now you can modify. Okay, when you have a line black, means that point is fully constrained, you cannot modify. So what I'm going to do is that I need to pierce those points to this guideline. So here you have this constraint, pierce, select, and pierce that one there. So basically we'll attach that geometry there. This one also attach that one there. Okay, and see that these points are free to move. Also they were shifted. So what I can do again, I can pierce this one to this one to this one, and now that is fully constrained. And at this point, I can do the same here. So I can make it coincident this point with this point here, and this point with this point here. So you have that section there. So if you want to add, to control that one, I can add a spline point there. Okay, I cannot do it because it's not a spline, but let's create a spline there. So I didn't like it, that one. I prefer to create my own spline, new spline. So probably I can give it a circular section, but let me work here with this one. So okay, so I control there a little bit, and I'm happy with that one. Okay, so now I have my second section, and from this one I just need to do the loft to this one. So when we do the loft operation now, remember we need to select the profiles in order, and extremely important, this profile needs to be attached to the guidelines. So let's go here, one profile. Okay, let me choose first profile, second profile, and see that now you see there the loft, and now the search profile, and see that what I was telling you, that onshape will try to interpolate everything. So this is what you get from the interpolation, which is not okay in this case. So now we force everything to follow those guidelines and see that now this is what we have. Okay, so this is our new profile, our new text section, by using a control profile here. And if you want to add another one to have more control, feel free to do it. So let's compare this one to the previous one. Okay, so let me hide this one. So in the previous case it was this one to this one, and then we had these two guidelines. Okay, so part 4. So look at that. If I hide this one, see that here we don't have much control in this area here. Look at how we have this strange shape. Instead, in the new one, as we add that new profile section, we have more control. So let me control here the appearance and the transparency. I will add 0.2 there, and this one as well, 0.2, the appearance 0.2. Okay, see here clearly, now you see better the profile. See that this one is better rounded, and this one here is a little bit stepping curvature. And here from the back also you see the difference between the two sections. And I can compare with the original one. So again, the one that we use, the revolve. So if I use here 0.3, see that the revolve is something in between the other two. So if you want to use, if you like this section in the revolve, that is a circular section, a perfect quarter of the circle, you can just create a cut plane, project that section there, and then do the lofting using that one. So let me show you how to do that. Okay, so in this case we have this one, and I would like to use that one, that section of a profile. So what I will do here is the first thing that I need to do is to split this part. Okay, so because I want to take just the cross section, so you go here, select part, and I want to split it here. Okay, so we have two parts. Okay, and I can take this cross section here. So now I'll go here, sketch, and project this face. You are happy there, and now you have this face that you can use to do your loft. So for instance, I can go and do the loft like this. Select a loft, this new face, go to this one, and then go here, and then use these guidelines. So now we have this new loft, that now we have this perfect section here that we took from the revolve. Probably we might need to work a little bit in this one to avoid that one. But if we compare this, edit appearance, 0.3. So now here we have all the sections compared. So the first one where we create both profiles, then we have the one with no profile to control at the end, and then we have the new one. Okay. Okay, so at this point it's up to you to choose how would you like to proceed. In this case, let's say that I'm happy. Let's see which one I would like to use. Okay, so I have this loft. Let me see, I have 4 lofts. This is the last one. Okay, and this is the one I created using 2 points. So I want to use loft 2. Okay, so let's use loft 2. Okay, so loft 2 is part 3, I think. Yes, so we have part 3. Let me change appearance. Okay, and at this point what I need to do is to create the other part that I have here in the back. And again, important that we need to use the right sketch. So as we have many sketches there. Okay, let me see which one is the right one. Okay, I'm not using the right. Okay, I should use. Okay, it's this one, part 4, edit appearance. Okay, part 4 is the one that is using the 3 profiles. Okay, and I need to select the right sketch. So let me turn off hide a few sketches. So I need the sketch, this one is sketch 6. So I don't need 7 and 8. So if I compare, okay, they're very similar. Okay, so now we create the other section. So we'll go here, profiles, this one to this one, and we add the guidelines that we already have there, okay, and we have that section there. We have our win, we have part 2. This is the one I want to use there. Okay. Yes, it's the one that I have. So part 2, edit appearance. Okay, and let me hide a few planes here just to make it easier to visualize. I will hide everything. Planes, revolve, sketch. You also. So this is what we have. Sketch 6. Okay, we have a tip that have a nice tangency and also a nice control here. So let's create our full wing. So to create a full wing, so I guess you know that we need to do a few booleans. So here you go, unite this one to this one to this one, create a single part, and then as it is symmetric, I will do a mirror of this one, and the mirror plane, I want to use this face. You can choose a plane or a face, doesn't matter. And this is what we have. Okay, so we have our wing here. Okay, a nice curvature here that now we can use to do our CFD study. Okay, and remember, as everything is parametric, any change that you do here in your feature list automatically will be added here. So this is the power of parametric CAD design and understanding well also the loft tool. As you see, the loft tool is very powerful. Okay, you can generate any kind of crazy shapes using that tool, but you need to be careful on the order how to choose profiles, guidelines. You need to be careful that the guidelines need to perfectly intersect those profiles, avoiding self-intersecting bodices and stuff like that. So it's a matter of practice. I think this is a very nice case to practice. So practicing the wind, the lofting, use different shapes, and also go to the tip, use different techniques to create that one. So for instance, I just use this half of the air for when I import it. Okay, so probably can be interesting, instead of using half, modify your CSV file, get everything, or probably do it here, just do create this symmetric part from the beginning. So it's up to you, okay, all the choices that you have to play it around with your geometry. So I guess this is the end of this part. This was the geometry generation, and starting from the next video we're going to export this one to STL, and then we're going to do the meshing. But before doing the mesh, I will show you a few stuff about the STL, since that you need to have in mind when exporting the STL that you're going to use with Snappy XMesh or CSMesh. We're going to use CSMesh. So remember to export it, go here, export, then give it a name, choose the format, and then export it to meters. Okay, we were working in millimeters, exporting in millimeters, exporting in meters, and choose a resolution. Usually I use a high resolution, so it's up to you. And then you click OK, and you will download that file that you can use for your CFD study. So thank you very much for your attention, and hope to see you in the next video. Bye.